Hey everybody, sorry I'm late. Um, I every Thursday. Here's what I do. I have my normal working film. Today was finished wrapping up filming a new video. Now only the eye burning hours of editing. Um, every Thursday I do what I have to do, and then I say, okay, I'm going to get away from my work quickly, and then I'm going to walk the dogs across the street in this park, take them for a nice little walk, a little frisbee throw, and then I'm going to get back pretty early, and I'm going to put a pizza in the toaster oven, a little like, one of those wimpy pizzas with the white cheese and spinach on them, and then I'll eat it, and then like 45 minutes before the stream, I'll come in here and I'll smoothly just get everything going. And every single time, I end up force feeding myself burning hot pizza, like burning to the skin, while drinking cold iced lemonade. Just like, all right, well, let's try and get this temperature in a digestible manner, and then yeah, while making coffee, and then literally running over to the studio to start a stream. And it's just, I'm not even upset about it. It's just kind of funny. It's like it's been a year probably where this has been my standard streaming schedule, and I just can't manage to to keep it, to make it work once. Yeah, how is everybody? Goop morning. Um, yeah, so today we're going to check out Visco 2.0. Kind of surprised. I haven't heard about that plugin in a while, and it's back. It's a drum machine, but now it has a synth. And initially, I'd already done a stream on it, and I was like, I don't need to do another one. But then I looked at it really quickly. I installed it, looked at it really quickly, and I was like, okay, this is off the rails. Then, like in the last hour, I got an email from somebody who made a phase looping plugin and sent me the installer. And instead of responding to the email, I just installed it, and maybe we'll check that out. And then Eventide released a new plugin, a new reverb plugin that is free. I forgot what it's called, but we'll know what it's called because it's installed and ready to go. But it's a musical reverb plugin, and it looks like it only has like 3 knobs, so I don't really expect anything transformational out of it. Yeah, and that's the stream. What else? On the video side, still doing the infrasound video. Still, it's like the longest delay in a long time. But mostly just because the processing takes a really long time, and I'm trying to be scientifically accurate with everything that I say, trying not to bullshit you. I found this really interesting. Let's get to my streaming page. I just like, now a lot of times I just crack up when I read the news at like how ridiculous things are. Like drones, you're banned from flying a drone in Chicago right now. A city, the third largest city in the United States with millions of people, and nobody can fly their drone. Not for photography, not for commercial photography, not for filming, not for fun. You just can't fly your drone. But you totally can fly your drone. I mean, technically it's illegal and this and that, and I won't tell anybody to do anything illegal, but years ago, we started talking about banning DJI in the United States. And I don't know how much this has to do with it, but I do know that this year we said, okay, we're going to ban you, DJI, because you're Chinese. And they're not even going to open that can of worms. And then said, okay, unless you pass a security audit, we need to look over your hardware and your software and make sure that you're not sending a bunch of data to the Chinese government of fields and sunsets and all the shit that people film with drones. It's not exactly like there's a bunch of drones flying over the Pentagon, right? So anyway, so they did that, and then DJI said that this is from what I read. I don't work for DJI or anything. And DJI said, all right, yeah, cool. Here you go. Here's our hardware. Here's our software. You can look at the source code if you want. Have fun. And then the U.S. government was like, now I know you think that the stream froze up, but that's probably what DJI thought happened with the U.S. government. But they were just, they did nothing. And then DJI apparently had continuously reached out and said, hey, this December 23rd, 2025 deadline's coming up, and we certainly don't want our drones banned. And the U.S. government said, because we don't actually have the organization to do that. So, it wasn't necessarily in response to this, but something that DJI did. I don't know how much you care about drones. Sorry if you do. Just plug your ears and hum a song if you hate it. In the remote, I have 2 drones that I use for this channel, and this year I've amassed a bit of knowledge about drones because one of the research projects I was doing was about drone attacks in Ukraine, and yeah, like DJI, they have software in their controllers that has like a challenge response key that goes against the FAA servers. So they could say no national park, no airport, no military zone. They could tell the drone exactly where and where not to go. And after all this shit started, DJI said, you know what, fuck it, and they just removed that whole feature. And now you could fly your drone anywhere. Like, I don't think there's any restrictions whatsoever anymore. Like it'll tell you like, hey, you're not supposed to, but the last we heard, you're not supposed to. But that whole challenge response system is gone, which is great for somebody who's just tired of being nagged about where they could fly their drone. But anyway, so seeing this today after knowing all that is kind of hilarious. Like, wow, so you basically had full transparency and participation from this drone company, from the largest drone company by a whole lot. You had full transparency and participation, and you shit the bed this bad to where they just said, okay, well, I guess the government isn't around anymore. So I guess we'll just stop, logging into the FAA to give people approval. And now you want to ban them when it means nothing. If they can't figure out how to look at a piece of hardware and software to figure out if it's safe, they certainly can't figure out how to track a bunch of drones. And the last thing that I want to show you is a lot of times if you bought a DJI drone, especially back in that period, there is a thing on GitHub called CIA Jeep Doors, which essentially removes any sort of identification from your drone. Interesting name. I also love warning, because some of you are stupid and can't stop bugging OGs for help. Yeah, but it works. And so if you do want to fly your drone, use that just in case they actually are competent enough to log the data from them, but most likely they aren't. Anyway, so that's going on. I thought that was funny. And the other news item that I thought was completely bonkers would be this. This is from Tennessee. This is from the district where Cameron lives, Venus City. If we look closer, can I look closer? Can I? Oh no, this is on Threads, so I need to open in a new tab to actually zoom in. Yeah, so Republican primary voters or anybody on that list, apparently this is the mailers that they're getting. Your voting record is public. Your neighbors are watching and will know if you miss this critical special election. Republican Party officials will see if you don't vote. You can't afford to have that on your record. Like, holy shit, what the fuck? We will contact you after the election to make sure that you voted. The Tennessee Republican Party HQ will see whether you have voted. We are compiling an official list of Republicans who fail to vote in the 7th Congressional District of Tennessee special election. Party leadership would be very disappointed. Tell me how fucked up that is. Imagine, like, without playing any sort of partisan politics, imagine if OAC or Nancy Pelosi sent out shit like that. Imagine how insane the reaction would be. You'd have like the military involved. It'd be crazy. But yeah, that was just that was bonkers. Okay, so drones are banned in Chicago while they abduct people, and if you don't vote in the Republican primaries, you're going to be put on a fucking list. All right. That'd be funny if the Visco developer was like this really big MAGA person who was like, "Hey, don't do that on my stream." Well, I don't actually talk to the Visco developer, by the way. I mean, I don't like not talk to him. We didn't break up or anything, but I just I don't have any contact. I paid for this, I think. Yeah. All right. So this is old school Visco. We have different sounds. Seems a little bit more animated now. And then you have all this goop, which is kind of a very, I don't know, it's an imprecise way to edit sounds. By the way, this plugin's at 200%, meaning the size is at 200%. So, yeah, and then it comes with a bunch of has an attractor tool, which attracts things. Has an editor tool, or an erase tool, which repels things. This is me walking into a bar full of hot ladies. They all just go up against the wall. They just melt into the walls. Ugh. Mirror. And mirror this way. You can see how I get this. The only reason I'm really showing you this is because you could kind of just, the reason I'm showing it to you that way, you could just see. Whoa, that's a cool kick, actually. Repel. Damn. That sounds fucking awesome. Here's our snare. Yeah, okay, and then we have like time scale. Huge snare. And I don't really, every time I want to say that I know what kind of synthesis engine this is using, I don't know. I lose it. I'm like, nope, not that one. I don't really think that'll have that much of an effect on this one. Oh, and these affect the time scale of the entire machine. Okay, so repel this upwards. Oops, repel up. Or maybe attract over here. We have a compressor on, it feels, yeah. Oh, okay, that's why that limiter is doing its job. Let's maybe turn the speed up. I bet we could also do, I don't remember, can we do cutoff? That would be amazing if we could do mute groups. Maybe in mix, main. It's just like, if not, then I guess we're just like going on two in a row, no mute group drum VSTs. Okay, and then you have patterns, which are playable via key, I believe. Oh, there we go. Playable by G key. Very cartoonish. Oh, wow, okay. This is an interesting drum sequencer here. So I guess, I'm not really sure what's happening in it, but I guess, oh, so it's just drawing the actual sounds. Interesting, okay. There we go. I guess it does not have mute groups from what I could see. I could be wrong though. It does have voicing. Huh, yeah. Yeah, okay. And then we could swing things up. We could loosen time and loosen velocity. Let's hear it. And then there's modulators. So global frequency, we could put that on LFO1. Noise hold. Although I don't know what rate that is. I wonder what... I'm assuming that's sample and hold. It's kind of having the same effect, but let's find out. Maybe it's... We kind of make our own not random sample and hold. I wonder if you could also have the amount change. That'd be pretty dope. Global. Nah. I was gonna say if you could have the modulation amount change per instant, like if you could, you know, do a maths type thing. This is the overall decay. Oh wait, no, these are... So these are completely different. Okay, so these have nothing to do with the initial sound. So okay, let's just try and hook that up to envelope number 1. Starting high, going low. I wonder why it keeps... Oh, I see, because it's per voice. Got it. So now all the sounds will be like... Nice. mean, that's pretty like instantly gratifying, right? Oh, what am I trying to... Oh, it is the kick making that sound. There we go. Oh, God, that's what clip means? Oh, never mind. I thought you were going to tell me that clip meant it had mute groups. And then we have Master Effects. Tape Simulator. Yeah, okay, so this is like a highly improved version of where we were with 1.0. However, now we have this. It's very crispy. Very Oizo. And then we are crossing between these two sounds. I guess this will make it sound fuller. This just treats everything like a synth. go back to kit. Yeah, I mean, it's like the simplest beat, yet it's doing quite a good job. Wow, that's some resonance. We haven't even looked at a preset yet. I guess, is this randomize everything? Like everything? I guess we could like modulate the, that would be track 8. It would be I actually don't know. What would this be? Transform, okay. Oh wow, you could do a global transform. I'm not ready for that. Transform, all right. And then let's try with... If we make this on a third beat. Oh, okay, sixth. Oh, I see what's happening. Ask and you shall receive. It's actually kind of terrifying. All right, let's load up another one. All right, I need a different sequence. Is there a quick way to reset the sequence? Aha, clear all. Oh, okay, we could shorten these. It's funny because I wanted to bring in a loop, but I feel like it's such a wonky sequence that it might not actually fit with anything unless it was like dragged in or something. How are my loops? Mom, where's my loops? Where'd you put them? Weird. Did I unplug my sample? No, I didn't. Okay. What do we got here? Yeah, nothing that interesting. I don't know why I even check loops. I feel like a lot of loops libraries that I have are simply for YouTube, just for like little sequences. Okay, this is good for now. There we go. Now, might be worth cutting the low end out of this. And I do believe that Visco allows you to mute channels outside, so that's good. Although we will have to enable that in our DAW in FL Studio, like so. Bus 1. And now the kick should be separate. Maybe not. Oh, maybe I did that in the wrong one. Huh? There we go. And we can route this one to this one, which is our duct track. How good is SliceX for chopping up loops? Is that one of those things where you're like, how good is SliceX for chopping up loops? I was curious. Or is that one of those things like, dude, how good is SliceX at chopping up loops? Let me know, because that will change my responses. The only thing I've seen now on how you can kind of come close is Serum 2. Oh yeah, yeah. SliceX is one. It's one of those things that it's like you can't leave FL Studio because of that. Like you don't want to. Like the piano roll. It's not only SliceX, it's the piano roll. Like you're able to just kind of make anything you want. It's pretty incredible. Percussion pop. Oh wait. Actually, could we like go up an octave? Okay, I'm confused. I wonder if we could do some sort of parameter locking. Wow. Wow. Yeah, it does sound, well, I mean, I guess it is kind of physical modeling, isn't it? I guess let's look at the actual plugin itself. Leave this session. Start over. Yeah, because it says that it has models. So here's a clean start. Here's our, well, I guess this is a probably good sound to sniff around. Yeah, we have velocity models. So like, I don't really understand though. I guess it's just, yeah, how much it's, yeah, okay. That makes more sense. All right. Yeah, so what happens if we like modulate a noise hold on, what channel is that? 6. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty damn functional. If only we had mute groups. And then I think the only thing tonal does is just change this to, so we have this sound. This sound. Makes me wonder, like, well, folk, human beatbox, special effects. Yeah. Right, so with this noisiness, maybe it's a good time to try out Eventide's new reverb. Okay, it's not under Eventide. Maybe it didn't give me it. Every now and then you run into plugins where they're like, you know what? I'm gonna install this where I want to install it. you have no say. Maybe been one of those. If I can remember the name of it, I guess I'll just search. Eventide musical reverb temperance. There we go. Yeah, they didn't update a vendor there. Bug report, update your vendor. The FAA, oh no. It's a free plugin. What do you mean I don't have any licenses on my account? Holy shit. I'm like, I don't even understand. Like, I don't even get it. Do I have to register? Do I have to go through all this for a free plugin? For a free plugin? What are you worried you're going to lose 0? Yeah, okay, so sorry, now I'm in the website here. I want to make sure it doesn't have my password or anything. It does. All right. I have to register products. Gotta find my license key. I don't really give a fuck if anybody sees it because it's a free plugin. Okay, I already downloaded it. Oh, there it is. It showed up. Where am I allowed to run my free plugin? It cannot be. This license can be activated to any type of lock on your computer. Okay. Great. I can't wait. I'm about to switch computer systems, and I can't wait to have to do that again for my free plugin. Maybe it'll show up on Pro Audio Torrents by then. People have lost their minds, man. Like, I understand releasing a free plugin and taking somebody's email and being like, hey, look, we're going to give you this free plugin, but you're going to have to join our mailing list. I'm a little bit less forgiving if it's a light plugin. Like, I assume that this will be an expensive plugin when Temperance Pro comes out, whatever. Like, I still think, like, why wouldn't you just give it away for free? Why wouldn't you make it as easy as possible for me to install and check out if that's the case? And I really like the people from Eventide, by the way. I'm not like, it's the last company I want to shit on. They're really friendly people. Well, this reminds me of Rez. Anybody ever play Rez? Old Dreamcast game. I'm sure they have it for other systems, but it was like a, yeah, I mean, it literally, you were a flying person, and you would shoot things and be like, and then you would have a little beat in the background. Great game. I don't know where I played it. Maybe on the PC or something, or maybe a Dreamcast emulator. I played it like 5 years ago again, and I really enjoyed it. Really, they screwed up generate such that it took around 6 months to work despite activation, etc. One day it just started working. Not a great experience. Yeah, that's terrible. It's just mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing to me when companies make such an incredible product, and then not only it would be one thing if they did what Native Instruments did, where they're like, we're going to use our own licensing activation servers, and then this is ages ago when they first had their own licensing activation servers, they completely shit the bed and nobody's software worked. That's basically, long story short, the servers went down, they didn't have enough support. I knew a friend of mine worked in support, and his life was like destroyed over it. Like, it was just this nonstop huge thing, and people were very rightfully pissed off because they had paid a bunch of money for Complete, this new version, or upgraded to it, or pre-ordered it, and then they couldn't use it, and it was I think it was retroactively deactivating their old contact libraries. But when that stuff happens and it's iLok, like I'm not sure if I can talk about iLok's licensing deals because it would involve their clients, but it's not cheap, and they do something where, like, if I'm not sure if it's still this way, but you may need to use iLok to be able to have a Pro Tools plugin. So to be able to capture that 9% of users or sell to them with AAX plugins, I think you need to have an iLok activation, which then covers your entire catalog. You need to just get fucking companies like that. Official, why is it saying attempting to connect registration successful? Okay, sorry. OBS was giving me weird. Am I back? Wow. All right, I guess I'm back. Weird. Not sure what happened there. Okay. My internet's been kind of wonky today. That's not good. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it may actually be the computer. Maybe it's just being bogged down or something. Who knows? But that's definitely not good news considering that I'm building and testing a web server. Yeah, iLok was like, no, we're gonna turn on the jammers, boys. East Atlanta, turn them on. Anyway, where was I on my iLok complaint tour? Yeah. When it deactivates previous plugins that you may have pirated, like there are quite a few plugins where, I mean, I've purchased them and I ended up using a pirated version because there was only, the newer version was too slow or it didn't work with the old setting. There's plenty of reasons why you should always have a pirated backup of your software. Like, we've learned it through Reason. Reason's a great example. Like, people who owned old versions of Reason can't even reinstall their own software anymore because they just don't even support it. So I feel like I'm slowly morphing into Louis Rossman. But yeah, so when they do that, then that incentivizes me. Then I'm scared to install this. I'm scared to pay for Generate or Black Hole Immersive. Like, I'm scared to do those things because it might fuck up my other sessions, or it might fuck up my other plugins. And when that happens, then if I'm a professional and I run a studio, I mean, that's a disaster, especially if you work in like composing and ads. There's so many times where companies reach out and they just say, hey, we need a quick edit of this. that we licensed a year ago, and you just need to be able to like open that shit up. And like, I mean, there was a point where I bought a new computer, back when I was doing a lot of ads and stuff. I bought a new computer and I just left the old one like in the studio in the corner. I didn't even want to unplug anything. Like I was just like, I can't deal with any like any sort of conflicts with software, any sort of new versions not opening. Like it's going to cost me more than the computer is worth if I can't open that up and stem out an old session or make adjustments to it. Yeah. Yeah, the 32-bit, 64-bit, there's so much stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess part of me wants, like, I realize that it's just, installing iLok, and then the pirated versions no longer work because you have a newer version of iLok installed that's not cracked, but it feels like malware. Although I do realize that it's not malware. They're not setting out to do that, but I'm sure they're not upset that it's doing it at the same time. There needs to be a Docker or something like it for plugins. I wonder if you could sandbox plugins. Yeah, this brings up a good topic of discussion. I had thought about this. Like, I wonder if you could, okay, so I have Android. The reason I have Android is because I like viewing my own file system. I like being able to install APKs. There's quite a few apps that I have, from like frequency generators to I made an app that literally allowed me to score my dog's bone cancer and then get a daily and a weekly score that I could see, and then a threshold when I knew that it was probably time to install it on my phone, and used it without any issues. And you can't do that on iPhone. Fuck no. You got to have test flight. You got to have all this other shit. You got to pay them to be able to do it. And so Android, for that one reason, even if it wasn't like leading in performance and all this other shit, for that one reason, Android is superior to me. And that is gone. Did my stream fucking drop again? Wow. Amazing. I wonder if this has, sorry guys, I wonder if this has something to do with YouTube's new, they just updated the whole streaming thing for me. Interesting. And then like my YouTube page doesn't show any problem. It's like excellent connection, you never dropped once. Stream health, excellent. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so I have Android because I don't have to ask someone permission to use my own apps or to use somebody else's apps for that matter. But yeah, I mean, it's functional. And there's a lot of apps, like in this newer video that I'm working on now with infrasound, I had to make my own app. Like I had to make my own app that would communicate that would SSH into a special microphone that was using a Raspberry Pi to give it its time series. And so, yeah, there's no apps for that, so I needed it. For that one reason, Android is superior. Like I'm dropping frames again, aren't I? For that one reason, Android is superior. And Android just dropped that. They just stopped that. Like now you're going to have to register with Google and verify your identity before anyone can put your apps on their phone, even if it's your own app. Which, well, why would I even have it anymore? And so I was really thinking to myself, like, we really, more than anything, we really need sandboxed apps that just don't interact with other parts. Like almost, I mean, and we sort of have that now, like we have permissions and stuff, but yeah, like I would love for each app to exist in its own sandbox and it can't touch anything else. Anyway. Ben, you getting an MPC3? You should fuck up the CV options. Probably not. It looks sweet though. I'm happy that it has 8 gigs of RAM. I'm like fucking tired of the MPCs having 2 gigs of RAM in 2025. Yeah, so that's nice. I'm a little annoyed that it has like more RAM and processing power than my MPC key, but yeah. Oh yeah, of course I realize that unsigned APKs are dangerous, and I would never ever tell my mom how to download APKs. But I feel like I am capable of finding trustworthy sources if I am downloading another one, like something like F-Droid or whatever. And then again, I'm not accidentally malwaring my own little apps just to make my life easier. But yeah, so this started off with somebody saying all plugins should exist in a Docker container. It's not a bad idea. Maybe not something as clunky as Docker, but yeah, I honestly haven't used a sandbox in a while. Like it used to be popular where you could run executable files on Windows in a sandbox, where it just wasn't allowed to touch any other part of the file system other than things. It was actually supposedly it was a very safe way of doing things, but I suppose that like Windows Security Center maybe kind of does the same thing when something's running. But yeah, you run into these issues now where you have these things to keep you safe, like Google's keeping you safe by restricting APKs, by preventing you from installing APKs, and so on with with every sort of app, with every sort of, and then with like DRM on plugins, and yeah, it's not to keep you safe. They don't give a fuck about your safety. They just want you to use their store. They want you to be in their ecosystem. Otherwise, why would? Yeah, okay, Roy, Droid, Void, and Christopher. That's how I figured that it was still built in. But I remember having control over it and liking that. I'm trying to remember. I think it was just called Sandbox. And I remember yeah, it gave you kind of deep control over that process. And the whole thing just made me feel better about things. Oh my God. And then if you ever downloaded a crack or something like that, you just ran it in a sandbox. But yeah. But yeah, so anyway, but I mean, why would you need an iLock for a free plugin? like what's like, they're not scared that they're losing nothing. It's to get your information. Another conspiracy I have is that two-step sandboxy, that's the one. Another conspiracy I have is that two-step verification in a lot of cases is just to get your data. Like so many times. It's the dumbest thing. It's like, my two-step verification to pay my house insurance bill, or something like that, where it's like, I don't think anybody from Ghana is going to fucking log into the account and pay my bill for me, but if they do, I'll give them my password. And now they want, we need a backup email address. We need your phone number, but it's for your own security. It's like fucking bullshit. Like, of course you're going to get a text from a related company, 2 days later. Yeah, I'm just calling this res machine because that's what it is. It just makes res sounds. And I'm here for it. Yeah, I love two-step verification. What I like even more than two-step verification is hardware verification or authentication. That's like, I can't believe that the average person or professional or anyone, but I am the only person that I personally know in the world who has to put a USB thumb drive, a little one that's on a keychain, into my computer before I could do anything with it. That blows my mind that like nobody else that I know personally, at least, I'm sure maybe somebody's watching this that like I know their name from the chat, but as far as I know, I don't know anybody else who had the reaction I did when I first found out that was a thing, where I said, holy shit, buy it. Like, I need it. That's what I need. Like, wow. So you're gonna have to kill me and steal my USB drive, then two-step and my password and all that stuff. Yeah, YubiKey, that's a classic one. Yeah, now I guess now I know people who are doing it. And even Authenticator, like Authenticator apps. Those are so much better than well, now that I'm learning more about like two-step verification attacks, like SIM jacking and all that stuff. Anyway, okay, so I guess temper is just how tuned it is. I mean, I guess this does what it said it would. It's reverb with a resonance filter over it. I mean, I know people who are like obsessed with security who don't use hardware verification just because or hardware authentication just because it's too much of a pain in the ass or I mean, I have run into issues with support for it and stuff like that where things that, or, where you have to install a program that just kind of emulates an old school password, which is like, well, I don't need that. Like, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Oh my God, you're right. I am streaming the camera, not that. I'm so worried about the bits per second. Well, you didn't see anything anyway. It was the same exact screen that was there the last time But now we're gonna check out if the stream stays up. I'm gonna have to do some sort of like crazy network testing or something. FASE, phase. It's a phase looping plugin that just developer emailed me and said, hey, I heard you're into phase looping. Check out the plugin I made. And this is me doing it for the first time. So maybe we have to play this. So also, if it crashes, do know that I do think this is not a 1.0. I like how I have no clue what to do yet. But maybe moving the channel to the effect would be good. Oh, I heard something. Okay. It's not a teddy bear, it's a puppet. Where is it? It's a puppet. It's a pretty horrific one. Its eye was chewed out. Gary chewed its eye out. Gary is a dog, by the way. It's not my gardener or something. Okay, maybe I should make something that's a little bit more cohesive here. Oh, wow. So you could kind of phase it out a little bit. I'm actually really into what I'm seeing right now. All right. So if I record a first layer, let's use a sound that's a little bit more dynamic, just like a piano, felt piano type thing. All right. Grains. Parts. chaos. Loop. Loop 2. Loop trim. Okay, and I assume that this is the... Is this a new layer that I have here? Okay, this isn't working out the way I wanted it to. Yeah, the dropout. I mean, the dropouts were probably a provider thing, because I'm. Yeah, I also haven't watched any videos on this. I didn't read any manuals. If I record something short, I could probably, yeah, it kind of reminds me of like the Cosmos, where you kind of have to like figure something out and record something short before you know it. And yeah, I mean, the Cosmos is like the ultimate plugin where you're just like, I have no idea what the fuck this does until you, or not plugin, the ultimate thing, I guess, where you're just like, I don't know what this does. All right. Oh, okay, so this kind of tells me in real life what's happening. All right. Okay. Now I get it. I thought I had to record multiple layers. Okay, and you could go up and down by fifths. I mean, this is still pretty rad, especially if you put reverb in front of it. And I guess it's not tethered to the session either. Yeah, so you really can phrase it. And then that, okay, so this resets. Maybe? Yeah, I wish the buttons were labeled. There we go. So now if I could... make this as simple as possible. There we go. This is what phase looping's all about. do we clear it? Now. Yeah, I am still very confused. Oh, now it's recording everything. And then this resets it. I really could have read those instructions, huh? And it also sounds dithery. Now it sounds better. And my stream's out. Right? Is the stream leaving? No, okay. Yeah. I tried getting away with. Yeah, I mean, I dig this. This plugin's doing a pretty good job. I assume fading is making the transitions a little less abrupt. Okay, and then the parts part probably would be better if I was doing something on tempo with the session. Not a big fan of the grains. Okay, and then this one locks them up. So if this one stopped this high and then I press this. Well, I'm not bored with it. Let's see how it sounds with the really like flat. And turn the verb off for a sec. Yeah, I think I wanted to open one of the other apps or one of the other plugins from Dawson, but Abyss Novum probably is the one I'm thinking of. I feel like every one of their preset browsers has a different format. Yeah, this is a good textured. These are all too epic. Oh yeah, yeah. I was playing with that not long ago, just at 3 in the morning, and with Arturia's lo-fi, and was just my mind was blown. It's really like the gem that nobody's really seeing in their products. I feel like not a lot of people are using it. Actually, you know what? I bet I could play both of these at the same time. I never do this, but I should. Can this also receive notes from... Yeah, there we go. Nice. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. This is wireless, but I mean, the signal's fine. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look like a, doesn't look like it's incapable of streaming, but... Yeah, I mean, I'm very set up. Like in terms of, so what's happening? I don't know if it's happening between. I mean, it could just be my service. I doubt it though. Like it would usually need to be windy or something like that. Um, what else we got in between here? My VPNs are disabled for streaming. Yeah, we're just going through a router that's going into a 5 gigabit connection. But no, that's not true. So OBS is going to Restream, is going to YouTube. That's the software side of things. Could be Restream doing it. The thing is I'm not getting any indication from YouTube that that there's a problem. Like usually if I'm dropping frames or if I'm having some sort of issue, YouTube will yell at me. Anyway, yeah, no, Novum is, I recommend Novum. Novum and Myth. I feel like Myth is a little bit easier to dial in a sound, but Novum, you have way more options. And it's a good looking plugin. Well, you know what I can do is I could watch the stream back from Restream, and that will tell me everything I need to know. Like I could see if it's borping out there, and if it is borping out there, and then if it's given the borps to YouTube, which again, the health looks, yeah, doesn't look like there's been any issues with it. If that is the case, then we will just have to get rid of Restream for good, because yeah, this is Myth. This is older, but worth it by a long shot. Yeah, they really switch between ways to organize. This is probably an out-of-date version too. I don't think I've updated it in over a year. Wait, no, I'm thinking of Abyss. I'm sorry. This is newer. Abyss is the one that's like the craziest for pads. And you can tell it doesn't quite look as schnaz, but yeah, if you just want like lush, insane pads. The pad and frozen trajectory, I don't remember, but I don't think I used any of these plugins for that. I used a lot of Reactor for that. Unless it was a... I also used a lot of Polybrute for that album. Yeah. Yes, Sim Selections is next week. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, if you're looking for a good pad plugin, it's either this or Lunacy's Cosmos, but I wonder how much that's costing now. I'm sorry, Cube. $79 for Cube. Not bad. Yeah, Lunacy's Cube is phenomenal as well for pads. Linares 2. I'll have to check that out. Oh, it's a contact player. Oh my god. Really? So let me show you what I'm looking at. Oh no. Does that deal work in Georgia? Really good stuff there. Ugh. You know what? I have this immediate license for the free contact player. I have this immediate and then they have the graphic here. So that's good. I have this like visceral response for things that are marketed as plugins when they're contact libraries. Like, because you know that like 50% of their sales are coming from people who don't know the difference. But this one seems to at least mark it on the front of the graphic. But yeah, it's like, I mean, that's a whole thing. That's kind of a whole sub industry of pro audio is like making contact libraries look like VST plugins, which is maybe it's not that big of a deal for other people, but I just like contact sucks. It's just the worst now. It's so bad. It's unusable for me. To the point where like yeah, a lot of times I'll know there's a contact library that I've bought that I really like and I'll go out of my way to use something else just because it's so clunky. The last version of contact that I used, every single time I opened the plugin, it would reset the menu. But it would like I had it set to where it used old mode or old view, so something more familiar for users. And every single time I closed it just to reopen it to adjust something, it would reset it back to the new. It's just like fuck off. Okay, I'm not using you anymore. But I thought I was the only person who felt that. No, you want to hear somebody complain about contact? Talk to Venus Theory. He will complain about contact even more than I will because he actually works closer with it these days than I do. Like I'm not doing any composing jobs, so I don't have to deal with it. But who the fuck was that? Was that? Oh, I thought that was Uli Behringer. The side of my eye caught it, and I'm like, imagine having Uli Behringer in your. Yeah, another thing though is like, so we had the little pop-up chat. I know every company does it, but I also hate testimonials. It just reminds me of dick pills or something. It's just like, what are we doing, man? Like, do we need? I don't know who reads that, but I mean, there's plenty of sites towards my testimonial. A lot of times where most of the time, well, I don't know, 30% of the time. Where where they say, "Can I have a testimonial for this product?" And I'm like, "Sure, your product's fucking awesome. I love it. Great." Yeah, if I actually like it. And the other is like a stream like this where they'll just misquote me and put it in there. But whatever. It's so funny because this thing would have been like I would have had a hard on for this type of thing years ago. And now it's like such a small fish to fry in comparison to everything else, especially the stuff on my channel. It's like, let this little scam exist. Who cares? But I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure Lunaris sounds good. I'm sure it's a great sample library, but not if. Do you need it? Do you need contact for it? Yeah, I guess so. You can't use it in UVI. I mean, the thing is also like decent sampler's a thing. It runs way more efficiently than Contact, and it's way more powerful for the free version than the free version of Contact. UVI Workstation too is free, although you do have to deal with licensing with that. Yeah, I have this book called KSP Scripting. Let's see if I can find the cover of it. The book's in my house over there. Let's see if I can find the cover because it's really funny. Because I was trying to learn it for a long time. Yes, this is the one, I believe, by Mike Novi. Get the picture for you. It's on Goodreads. 4.5, New York Times bestseller. Yeah, this book, which is a good book if you want to understand KSP, which I'm not even sure if they're using anymore. But this fucking picture on the front, it was so funny because I had the book out. I had it like near my computer, and I'd have people come over for sessions at the time and stuff, and they'd just sort of like side-eye the book like I was reading some sort of like erotic novel. It's like, nope, this is literally the most unerotic thing you could possibly read. Like if there was a book full of just random numbers, it would be sexier than the KSP scripting guide for Contact 4. But yeah, I don't even understand it. And also, years ago, early on in this channel, like 2017 or something, I did a video on something about Contact and I recommended it. And immediately I got some complaints in the comments being like, the book's $400. Why would you recommend a $400 book? And I didn't realize that, oh yeah, there's probably 10 of these books. Like it's not like, it's not like Penguin House is fucking, printing out hundreds of thousands of KSP scripting guides. Yeah, geez. But anyway, actually, I wonder if it is available on Amazon. Wonder if you could still buy it. Maybe Mike Novi printed more. Let's see. It is not. No, it's not available. Although, I will tell you something. Check this out. This plugin. What is the name of this plugin? I'm sure somebody in this chat has it. You could view statistics. Why can't I find the name of it? I feel like everything has its name on it except for this. Oh, no? Am I missing it? Keep a box, I think. Anyway, I've had this plugin forever, and I would seriously, be a mess without it. It's amazing. It tells you the price history of things. It just scans Amazon and some other stores and just tells you the price history of stuff. And yeah, this one, all 4,284 days. Yeah, this must be right when the video came out. Yep. See, so it was like $43, blah, blah, blah. I did a video mentioning it. And then, of course, since there's like no actual copies of the book made, it shot up to $400, $600. Used 300. I don't know if anybody bought it for that, they're stupid, because it's not that great. I mean, that's a thing where you just find Mike Novi and you offer him $100 and then download it from Z Library or something. But yeah, they have stats, and I really want to know. I really want to know when it cost. Yeah, okay, so July 12th, 2019, this book cost $7,066. Good Lord. I mean, imagine buying it for $11.58 and then selling it for $7,060. You could laugh at Bitcoin people for the rest of your life with that sort of turnaround. Not that any of it's selling. I'm going to find the name of that extension. I'm going to find it for you because clearly, I think it's Keep a Box, right? Keep a Box, KEEPA box. Yes, Keepa. But there it is. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have a Chrome, I'm not sure. Maybe they make it for Firefox now, actually, because I really want to leave Chrome. I'm done. Yeah, okay, I see it now. I'm like, maybe they make it for. I'm like searching it. Oh, they even make it for Opera. Okay, great. Maybe it's time to leave Chrome because I feel like all the plugins that I like are now expanding outward. Yes. Yeah, I should have that woman on the cover. I mean, whatever. It's kind of a legendary cover, isn't it? Like it's kind of amazing. Like that's pretty amazing. I love it. That's it's one of those things where like people get angry when they see it and they're like that's sexist and but it's like yeah, obviously. I think that's part of the joke. Like they chose a sexy picture of a, young girl or not a young girl, a young woman on her bed in her underwear on a laptop because that is definitely not what you imagine when you think of KSP scripting. When you think of KSP scripting, you think of a guy with long hair and a beard and a beer gut and yeah, thick air in the room, musky air. Yeah, but then again, the book didn't. The book, I can't imagine the book sold that many copies. That's all right. We were all there. I had long hair and a beard and sat in a tiny room on a CRT monitor with thick air for many years. That's how many of my albums were produced. So no worries there. The only difference, I guess, is that every now and then I leave town for a few months on tour, come back and do the same thing. Ugh. And I had long hair for a while, and I quit. I quit my long hair because of jujitsu. I got into jujitsu, and I was just like, you can't have long hair and do jujitsu. I mean, women don't seem to have any sort of problem with it, but it was too much for me to handle. And so tying it up and getting it knotted all the time, I chose jujitsu over long hair. Jujitsu over the Jesus look. Yeah, I kind of want to find out. Maybe I will do some browser stuff. But first, I'm going to finish a video. Got to do that. Got to finish a video and, do all that processing. It'll be fun. It's not an alarming video about privacy. It's an alarming video. You know what? Actually, I will give you a preview. Not that anybody's like on the edge of their seat. The video is creepy. Unexpectedly. It wasn't until it's about infrasound, but it wasn't until I was like halfway done shooting the content around the country when I was like, man, this is just so creepy. And then realized like, oh, this ties into like paranormal stuff. And there's a bunch of scientific, it doesn't tie into like actual paranormal stuff, but it ties into things that make people feel like they're at a haunted spot or something like that. And so I ended up going through a bunch of research like that. So it's a great, great October video. Yeah, but you'll see. And speaking of that, I'm going to go pour myself another cup of coffee and get back to editing. Thanks for watching. Sorry the stream went down. I'm going to disconnect from Wi-Fi and only do Ethernet. I don't think that was the issue, but whatever. You know what? Let's do it over Mesh-tastic. Let's just start a ham radio thing. Like I'll have a ham radio channel, and we could all get our ham radio licenses and listen to it, or maybe shortwave. I feel like probably have better range. All right. Well, take care. Thanks for watching. You'll see a video from me soon, and take care. Oh, am I licensed? I'm not licensed, but I am. Like every now and then before bed, I glance over the study book to get my license. It's actually kind of tricky. All right. Bye.